It's another great Thursday morning in Sidney, British Columbia. We've just finished another meeting, our weekly meeting of Sidney by the Sea Rotary at the Shoal Center. And as some of you will know, as the speaker seeker, one of the challenges I've been given is to take our members out of the room for a few minutes every Thursday. Chris Judge, the facilities manager at the Brentwood Bay Resort and Marine, did that in spades today because he took us to the shoreline of the Saanich Peninsula and then we looked beyond it. Chris, was a remarkable presentation that I think for many of our members will have them look at marina operations as they drive by in a very different way than they ever have before. One of the things that I found amazing when we moved here years ago were the extent of the marina, the recreational marina operations.
Incredible.
In the Saanich Peninsula. How many marinas are there in Greater Victoria?
I don't know, but just on the peninsula, we were doing the math, and I think we came up with about 11 on the peninsula, and then there has to be at least 7 in Victoria proper. So we're probably pushing 20 would be a safe bet.
Yeah, and to put it in, let's say, industrial terms, this is hundreds of millions of dollars of private investment.
Absolutely.
Supported and sustained by the labors of many hundreds of employees and skilled labor working every day in these marinas around the region. So if you look at a small and medium-sized business, any business in this region that employs 125, let us say, skilled tradesmen, that's actually a big business. Well, every one of the marinas around here is employing that or more.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are shared, but certainly it's substantial. We're in the hundreds, and I believe there to be around 60 businesses on the Saanich Peninsula that are directly tied to the marine industry. So it's a substantial number of people, a substantial number of businesses, and a substantial economic impact for the region.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
Welcome, Chris.
Thank you,
to City by the Sea External, we call this.
Okay.
First of all, it has always been noted that the Peninsula Economic Development Engine is hidden. And yet it is likely the largest on Vancouver Island. And it's comprised of about 4 categories. It is 4 categories: retail, agriculture, advanced manufacturing, and marine. Those are the 4 drivers. Of those 4, so those are the 4 within a hidden economic development engine, and within those 4, there is a hidden sector, that's the marine sector. And within this hidden marine sector is this hidden marine engine, marina engine. And so you're like layers under, and yet you are just this extraordinarily powerful economic development engine on so many levels. It's so impressive, and I'm so impressed that John and Rotary are showcasing you to the world.
Oh, well, that's very kind.
Well, and my invitation to Chris to speak, of course, came when he spoke last month at the Sidney Breakfast Club. Because, Chris, you're a storyteller. Everything is a story. It's not just the facts and figures. It's not just slips, boats, and pails of bait. And the story that John is describing as hidden indeed is. That industry needs more storytellers like yourself.
Well, and that industry comprises of so many we talk about the marine industry, we talk about recreational boating, we talk about marine tourism, which is largely ecotourism these days. We talk about recreational fishing, we talk about commercial fishing, we talk about marine transportation, we talk about sail training, marine mechanical, marine towing, cargo. I mean, there's so many levels to the marine industry that it touches so many other industries, like the hospitality industry in our case. It's really quite remarkable.
Talk a little bit about the Saanich Inlet, because many of your stories in terms of the evolution of your marine business at Brentwood Bay Resort have to do with a glacial fjord.
Yeah,
Is that what I
yeah, it's a
understand?
glacial fjord.
And what most of us don't quite understand is going on there.
Well, it's such a unique ecosystem and such a unique geographical feature because it's the Saanich Inlet was carved by a glacier, but it also has another unique feature, which is a shelf at the top or the end of the inlet. So you have an inlet that reaches depths of about 750 feet in depth in that very narrow inlet. But at the end of that inlet, you have a shelf that's only a couple of 100 feet deep, which prevents or prohibits the outflow of water the way you would experience it around the other southern Gulf Islands. So you have an entirely unique marine ecosystem that has evolved over time because of the geographical features of the Saanich Inlet. That's below the surface of the water. Above the surface of the water, you have these beautiful steep rises on either side of the inlet, most of which is First Nations land, Crown land, or provincial park. Gallantodd Park makes up much of the Saanich Inlet, and so does Sartlet land and Indigenous land on the other side, and then some Crown land as well. So it's such a beautiful place and an underutilized part of the Southern Gulf Islands because it seems a little bit out of the way. We don't see the marine traffic, which is maybe not a bad thing because it allows the natural ecosystem to exist in a way that's not as impacted by boats and large vessels as much as other areas. We regularly have whales, southern resident killer whales, transient killer whales, occasionally gray whales. We have a mother gray whale that calved at least 2 babies in the inlet over the last 15 years. We haven't seen her for a number of years, but it really is just an incredible habitat, incredible population of bald eagles, migratory birds down in Todd Inlet. It's a very, very special place. And Brentwood Bay is kind of at the core of it, and we're so grateful to be there.
Well, as you know, John, Saturday night at the Shoal Center is our annual Lobster Fest dinner, and I'm delighted to indicate and to thank you very much, Chris, for donating a tour of the inlet in our auction, in our silent auction part of the evening. That's terrific. And we actually have guests visiting. John and I interviewed from New Zealand a couple of weeks ago. A couple that we knew in the Philippines who are visiting here in about 3 weeks, and I'm definitely booking a tour.
It does
honestly. Your presentation this morning opened the eyes of everybody in that room. Many of whom, John, have lived here forever, for a very long time. But Chris, it seems to me it's your shareholders, your team, it's your vision that is transforming the way we're all going to look at the Todd Inlet and life in the Saanich Peninsula.
I hope my biggest dream for the marine tourism industry in this area is that we will be able to balance responsible ecotourism with a deeper and greater understanding of the origins of this place and its connection to First Nations peoples and how this was home and how much it has changed, while also embracing what the future holds for First Nations communities, for businesses, for tourism, and for economic development. We have a lot to learn from each other, and there's so many incredible opportunities to showcase this part of the world to people from around the world.
Well, as you know, the model of Rotary is service above self. Mm-hmm. And Chris, and you describing the environment in the organization, which you're part of the senior leadership team, it sounded like you wanted to instill in all of your employees the same attitude. Mm-hmm. Service above yourself. Go the extra mile for your customer. Absolutely. So that's one of the reasons why your discussion this morning was so harmonious. So
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate the opportunity to be here and to share a little bit about what we're doing.
And I'm certain that we will see you many, many more times in and amongst the different business organizations that John and I are involved with. Fabulous.
Oh, and Chris has a return invitation, probably a bit later in the summer, to discuss aspects of the Todd Inlet and the culture and whatnot that he just didn't have enough time to discuss today.
Absolutely. Would love to.
Until the next time, take care, gentlemen.
Thank you, John and John.
Pleasure.
Take care.
Thank you.